Hey everybody, Chief Meteorologist Scott Connell here. In the First Weather Center tonight, we still are in storm alert, although there's nothing overly imminently, probabilistic out there, probable that we're going to have problems. So the two severe thunderstorm warnings we had, Montgomery County up in northern portions of Illinois, and then down into Jefferson County, they've been allowed to expire or canceled early because the storms have weakened a little bit. But this is what some of those storms earlier today did. And I mean, these pictures are pretty impressive right here. You look at this from Blackjack. This came to us on Twitter. That's a quarter, and that's clearly golf ball size hail, maybe even a little bit larger than that. Most of our hail reports from earlier today tended to be in North St. Louis County. In fact, we had a couple of storms up coming out of St. Charles County and northern St. Louis County. And when I say St. Charles County, I don't mean by St. Charles, I mean up in the Orchard Farm area. And then up towards Godfrey, Illinois, another cell there produced some 1-inch hail. And then as it got down towards Granite City, we actually saw some gusty winds with that, and a couple of trees come down in the Granite City area, causing some damage and sending some folks to the hospital, and then some large hail, and that continued all the way down towards Belleville. Here's another picture. This is from Florissant. This is, you look at that, and larger than quarter size hail here again. And that was pretty common out of this storm as it moved across northern portions of St. Louis County. Kind of went right through Spanish Lake, right through Blackjack to Spanish Lake, right over Christian Northeast Hospital, crossed the river over into Granite City, and then just kept dropping onto the southeast and moved towards that area around Belleville. So at the moment, things have settled down some. We still have this one storm we're watching right now that's here in Monroe County in Illinois. It's still a strong storm, mind you, but it doesn't look like it's a severe thunderstorm. This is the one that came through Jefferson County. It's over in the Maystown area and then going south down towards Prairie du Rocher, although the heaviest is still up here in Monroe County. And that really is right along the river bluff there, going towards Kaskaskia Road. It'll get over towards Red Bud and towards Tipton here in a little bit, but it's considerably weaker than what it was. That's good news. The storm that was up in Montgomery County, well, you can see the core's kind of shifted a little farther north and east up towards Taylorville. So that's where the severe weather is. What occurred over northern portions of Montgomery County, of course, there's a lot of farm fields there, more likely than not was just some smaller hail. There are still some scattered showers here as you work your way down and into the area across Macoupin County, eastern Jersey County, northern portions of Bond County, northern portions of Madison County. Some lighter showers in this area, but nothing that really stands out. And really the focus here, I think we've kind of worked the atmosphere over because of the previous thunderstorms we've dealt with today. And as a consequence, it may be hard to get things to flare back up to the levels that we need to be severe levels. Now, we're probably going to have some scattered thunderstorms rumbling through the overnight hours for sure. Because the front's settling in across the region and it's going to stall out, and that tends to favor some overnight development. But you can see the severe weather, for the most part, it's kind of eluding us back into mid-Missouri, south-central Missouri, down over the Ozarks, then heading into far southeastern Missouri, southern portions of Illinois, down towards Cape Girardeau, pretty intense thunderstorms down there. So again, we're in pretty good shape, I think, around the St. Louis area for the rest of the evening. Technically, the severe thunderstorm watch is still in effect, but we'll give it another little bit to further analyze if we're going to be able to kick something off. And if we can, then that may get canceled a little bit early. And you can kind of see, looking across the region here, those temperatures ahead of any thunderstorms, hot, steamy. We got up to 90 degrees in St. Louis, and then we dropped into the 70s with the storms. Columbia, similar situation, 90 degrees, and then bam, back into the 70s. Still looking at temperatures that are close to 90 degrees in areas that haven't seen showers and thunderstorms. Look at Cape Girardeau. They were close to 90, and now they're down to 67 degrees. That's pretty dramatic, and that's what you get when you get these big clusters of thunderstorms. So as we head through this evening, our thinking is that, yes, we will still have a chance for a few storms here or there, but the odds of seeing anything that's going to be substantial or widespread, more than just your run-of-the-mill, maybe quarter-size hail thunderstorm, even that's looking marginal at this point. it just doesn't look all that promising. But until 9 o'clock, this is the area that has the severe thunderstorm watch. And it's really most of the 5 on your side area, except for our northern counties. And I think we'll be able to probably chip away at this as we head through the remainder of the evening. Now, just to kind of give you a computer's thoughts on what might happen. Scattered showers and thunderstorms here this evening. Yeah, maybe a few overnight early tomorrow morning. Fronts close. There's probably going to be some sort of decaying or weakening complex of storms trying to come at the metro area as we head towards 10 to noon on Tuesday. And then that may set up a boundary that we deal with during the afternoon, and more likely it'll set up a boundary that we get flared up overnight, Tuesday night, and into Wednesday. With that in mind, we already have a severe weather potential from the Storm Prediction Center, level 2 out of 5. That includes most of the area. It's kind of centered northwest to southeast, right through the St. Louis area for those potential wind gusts here tomorrow. And more likely, one would think, into tomorrow night. It's probably going to be overnight, very early Wednesday morning, probably 4 or 5 o'clock, something like that. That's our best guess. When you're dealing with thunderstorm complexes, you know, we go over this every time. God knows we've had a lot lately. You know, they have a mind of their own, these complexes do, and they tend to influence the weather around them once they get going, and then it changes everything. And the computer models that we have, as good as they are, they don't pick up on all that small scale. All the small scale features, they don't pick it all up. So, you know, there's still, you know, we have an idea of where these things might form and the general area, but until we can pinpoint and actually start seeing it bubble up, you're kind of, you know, flying blind, if you will, trying to figure out what's going on. So we do think that tomorrow, especially tomorrow night, would be our severe weather chance. So we'll stay in storm alert here this evening until the severe thunderstorm watch is canceled. Once that severe thunderstorm watch is canceled, then we would slip back out of that and just go back to our regular weather alert for tomorrow. And that's anticipation for the potential of the midday thunderstorms, as well as the potential going into tomorrow that the overnight hours into very early on Wednesday would also be weather alert time frame. So it may be more for the overnight hours than it is for actually during the day as far as a severe weather threat is concerned here on Tuesday. And then Wednesday, most of it should push away. The heat tries to build in. This has been the story of our life here the last week or two, watching the big heat wave that is down across Texas, New Mexico, back to Arizona, in the southwest, that huge dome of heat. We've been on the northern fringes of that, and it keeps sending us all these little disturbances, and each one comes rippling along and flares off showers and thunderstorms that we have to deal with. And that's probably going to be the case here through early on Wednesday morning, very early Wednesday morning. Now, we think the ridge builds in enough where for Wednesday night into Thursday, that kind of suppresses any activity, and hopefully will dry out and cool off a little bit as we head towards the end of the week. Now, that remains to really be seen getting that far out. Do want to tell you, though, as far as the numbers for today, because I know some of you like to keep track of these things, the numbers for today in St. Louis, 90 officially the high, 70 officially the low. That's about on target for this time of year. Remember, 2012 was the last blistering hot summer that we had until you went back, I think, to 1954. 103 was the record high for today. Now, Lambert only picked up a trace, get that, only picked up a trace of rain today at Lambert, St. Louis, or St. Louis Lambert International Airport. And right now, we don't really have much in the way of precip around the metro area. We are pretty much settling down. We've got the ball game going on over at Busch Stadium. Looks like you got a few people at the ballpark. Guess it's maybe not as crowded as it might normally would be, but they're there. Of course, the Cardinals have struggled with the potential, well, with the rainfall they've had to deal with the last few days, really struggling trying to get those games in. So we'll give you one last look here at the radar before we let you go tonight, at least for this particular session. They were on 5 Plus and KSDK.com. You know, the storm that's northeast of Litchfield, that definitely has a weakening trend, right? The one that's now down here that was, still producing some pretty good rain in Maysville, done. It's running into the rain-cooled air from the thunderstorms that were over Belleville earlier. And then the stronger storms from Cape Girardeau, and then back here heading out of Missouri and towards Arkansas in south central Missouri over the Ozarks. That's pretty much where the action is, and it doesn't look like we're going to see much more of that as we head through the evening around St. Louis. So while technically there is a severe thunderstorm watch still in effect, we think at this point our chances for severe weather overall in St. Louis would be pretty limited here going through the remainder of tonight. I mean, that's just the way it's looking right now. I know technically we have another hour and a half on this severe thunderstorm watch, but it's doubtful we'd be able to flare anything up, given the atmosphere being worked over by previous showers and thunderstorms, and we've lost the heat from the day. So we'll let you go for now. If something by chance should pop up, we'll get back with you, and we'll be here on 5 Plus.